Yo, what's up, YouTube? Just want to drop a couple of gems, food for thought. Chew the fruit, spit the seeds. This is in Ecclesiasticus chapter 28, verse 2. Now, one of the biggest things that I've noticed that's not being spoken on in the atmosphere is forgiveness. You know, people are going into relationships and they're holding on to the abuse and trauma that someone else has given them. You have to let go of the pain, and you have to forgive those who have offended you. And more importantly, you have to forgive yourself from the stuff that you've been through. Chapter 28, verse 2 says, "Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he have done unto thee. So shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest." Now, you know, that's the thing. Everybody's holding on and remembering all the hurt that your neighbor, which is your husband or your ex-husband or your wife or your ex-wife, you know, or your girlfriend, whatever the case may be, you guys don't forgive those people. And it says to forgive the hurt. Yeah, they hurt you. I've been hurt. And and it's a process too. But you got to snap out of that. You got to snap out of it. You know what I'm saying? You have to snap out of that pain to be able to start moving on in your life, because if you don't, you're just going to repeat it. Then you might meet somebody, and then you go into it with that hurt and that unforgiveness, and you just repeat the same stuff, and you never get the fruitful relationships you desire. And the reason why you don't get the fruitful relationships that you desire is simply because you haven't begun to forgive those who offended you, and you haven't forgiven yourself. And what comes with forgive me with the dog barking, my neighbor's dogs, but I'm out here. It's a beautiful day, and that's that. So basically, when you don't completely forgive yourself from the choices that you have made and begin to better yourself, then you start to begin to live a compromised life. And with that compromised life and that unforgiveness, you would only continue to compromise with your choice of partners, because you haven't forgiven yourself. And in the process of forgiving yourself, you're going to start bettering yourself. You're going to see where your bad choices is, your flaws were. And when you start making unnecessary corrections, you won't accept just anybody in your life anymore. When you make the necessary corrections, you're going to start choosing better and making better choices. If you don't make those necessary corrections and forgiving yourself, then essentially you've never bettered your situation, you never bettered yourself. So now you're still on that same level, in which the same mentality and same level in which you created the pain that you're already in, due to inviting certain people and caliber of humans into your life. So to take yourself to the next level, you have to embark in forgiving yourself and forgiving those that have hurt you. You know, I have this mentality, because the scriptures let you know that you can only live a certain level of life if you move with the power and the ability to actually forgive somebody. The next precept says, I'm going to read verse 2, then I'm going to read verse 3 after that. "Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he have done unto thee. So shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest. One man beateth hatred against another, and do he seek pardon from the Lord?" That's a question. So you might have hatred for the person that had harmed you or had hurt you, but in the next breath you asking the Lord to give you pardon. He's saying it's impossible. It doesn't work like that. You got to be able to pardon the hurt that someone has did to you in order for you to receive pardon from the one from the Lord, in which how you've sinned against him, and how you have violated your relationship between you and your creator. So it's important that you understand that you should never allow the hurt of someone to be so damaging where you cannot afford them forgiveness. The faster and the sincere you are able to enter into that place of forgiveness, your healing starts, your growth starts. And with your growth, opportunities are going to present themselves. A better health, better relationships, forgiveness from the Creator, and when you sinned against the Creator in the ways that you might have trespassed against the Creator. So just something to consider, that if you want a healthier relationship in life, you hear all these podcasts talk about the relationship or the modern woman or the modern man, and they're entering constant situations with unforgiveness. You know what I'm saying? They haven't forgiven the person. They haven't forgiven themselves. You know, they're just on a downward spiral, and they're not taking responsibility for the damage and pain that they've caused themselves. They just put it on the next person. And then you'll also get different videos where you see people in their later age where they're like, oh, I would have told my younger self this, and I would have told my younger self that. And what some of the things that they would have told their younger selves, they're not using words like sin, but they're like, oh, I would have been patient, or I wouldn't have abused my body, or I wouldn't have did this. So basically, they're saying that I wouldn't have sinned as much. I wouldn't have, broken certain spiritual laws as much if I could talk to my younger self. So for you younger people, and even for those who are older, you know what I'm saying? You've made those mistakes, and you have time to correct those mistakes. But in the process of correcting those mistakes, you're going to have to embrace forgiving yourself. One thing I know people do, and I see a lot, you see the pain in people's eyes, is that they're move in a functional, depressed state of mind. They go to work. I did it. I have been through a relationship that didn't work. And I've been through several relationships that didn't work. And I see myself, I'm still going to work, didn't take time off from work, still going to work, still doing my job as a professional. No one even knew I was going through stuff. I get back in my truck, do what I got to do. And I'm going through the same mental thoughts for weeks until I got tired of it. You know what I'm saying? Got tired of it, and then not just get tired of it, but I actually forgave those that sinned against me, those that offended me, and I forgave myself for making that type of choice. Didn't make a better choice for myself, and people don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? But you have to forgive yourself for making the type of choice, for being too anxious at times. So I just want to put that out there. One of the most important aspects of life in relationships is, one, forgiving those that have hurt you in the past. Forgive yourself. Build yourself back up so that if it's God's will for you to move forward, you can move forward healthy and in good faith.